2007 is about Michael Myers as a kid. They actually explain why he becomes a killer, taking some people out as a kid. He eventually goes to Smith's Grove. 15 years later, you got adult Michael Myers. He eventually breaks out of the loony bin, and he goes to Haddonfield and starts killing people left and right, going for Laurie Strode. Hey everybody, how you doing out there? So I am on Rob Zombie's Halloween. This is the remake of the original John Carpenter movie, and this is actually the last movie of Michael Myers I got a chance to see on the big screen. I never saw his sequel on the big screen, and I never saw the new trilogy on the big screen. Unfortunately, it just never worked out for me. When I went to go see this movie back in 2007, I was so excited. I enjoyed the trailers. I was wondering what Rob Zombie is going to bring to this here, because I thought his other two movies, House of a Thousand Corpses, was really good. And The Devil's Rejects, I'm a little bit more disappointed than most people, but I still will say there's still a lot of entertainment value in that movie. So I was kind of curious, what's he going to do with Michael Myers, with John Carpenter's original? What can he bring to the table? And when I first saw it, I loved this movie. I loved the kills. I loved the people. I actually enjoyed the story, for the most part, in the dialogue, looking at it through a critic's eyes compared to being a fan. And there is definitely some really major problems that I have with this movie. So let's just jump right into it. I want to talk about some of the characters. I want to talk about Dr. Loomis. I think Malcolm McDowell, who plays Dr. Loomis, does the best that he can for a remake. I always enjoy this actor. I think he's better off more as a villain than him playing a hero like Dr. Loomis. But I always do like seeing this guy on the big screen, the small screen, whatever. You got Danny Trejo, who actually ends up befriending Michael Myers, and he always does a good job as an actor. So even whenever Michael Myers is a young child to that 15 years as an adult, he always tries to actually respect Michael Myers for who he is. You got the new Laurie, played by Scott Taylor Compton. She does a really good job. She's nice. She's very sweet. She has great chemistry with the characters that she's actually working with. The only difference I have to give this character a little bit better is that with Jamie Lee Curtis in the original, she was shy. This character's a little bit more spunky. She's a little bit more outgoing, and I really do actually like definitely the change that they do in this one compared to the original. You got Danielle Harris, who actually plays Annie in this one here. She doesn't have a whole lot to really do, but it's just very happy to see her, because I mean, she was already Jamie Lloyd in Halloween 4 and 5 as a child actress, and she does a great job in this one with whatever scenes that she's actually in. And again, she can have really good chemistry with Laurie and other people there too. You got Brad Dourif, who plays Sheriff Brackett. We all know him as the voice of Chucky. We already know he is already a horror icon that way. But coming into this movie, and I guess spoiler, he's also in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. He doesn't have a whole lot to do. We already know he's a great actor. I wish he did have a little bit more to actually do, but seeing him on the big screen and watching him play this character, he really does do a lot better, and he does run circles compared to the original actor who played Sheriff Brackett. You got Michael Myers, who is 7 foot tall. This guy is just a freaking giant. He's like one of the most scariest, most violent for sure, serial killers. And Tyler Mane, who plays him, and he does such a great job. Rob Zombie did a really good job directing this movie. And then the final thing is going to be, this is gory as hell. I enjoy most of the kills. This is just, I mean, for anybody out there who was a gore fan and you're only going to watch this movie if you've never seen it before, or even the second one, it's definitely, for gore hounds, you will definitely enjoy what you get on screen there. There are tons of blood in this movie. And moving on to the dislikes. This is a really bad remake. I know I used to like this movie, but probably for maybe a good 10 years or so, I'm not a big fan of it. When I actually would marathon these movies, a lot of times I'd skip this one and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and sometimes even Halloween Resurrection, and I would move on. But the thing was that it's just not a rewatchable movie for me anymore. The biggest reason is gotta be the story in like the first 45-50 minutes of this movie. Rob Zombie's story decides to focus more with Michael Myers as a child and the bad home life and the bad school life he actually has. And I'll just tell you right now, the two reasons is because he gets bullied at school and he lives in a white trash family. So these are the reasons why I'm going to go and start killing and hurting animals and hurting people as a kid, hurt my family, end up at Smith's Grove for 15 years, escape and go to Haddonfield. And of course, we have already seen this film with John Carpenter much, much better than this remake. No shocker. So I didn't really care that much for most of that story there. The second half of the updated John Carpenter version, there's a lot more cool things that I really do like about it there. I don't like the script. Horrible dialogue. Rob Zombie does not know how to, create characters very well and give them great dialogue, or at least good dialogue. It's always pretty bad. No matter what movies he's directed, he's always wrote them, and I would say the dialogue has always been the weakest. Even one of my favorites is House of a Thousand Corpses, and I love that movie, but I still am not a big fan of the dialogue. Certain characters that I'm not really a big fan of, with Sherry Moon Zombie, Rob Zombie's wife, plays Michael Myers' mother. She's a stripper. He gets bullied at school about her being a stripper. His sister is nothing but a big slut, and I just don't think that anybody to latch onto. I don't feel sorry for Michael. I don't care whenever he actually takes out his family or takes out the bully at school. I really did not care. Like the first 45, 50 minutes of this movie, I'm just not a fan of, just don't care what the hell is going on. When we do get Michael Myers as a kid and as an adult in Smith's Grove, I just think that's the most boring part of the whole thing. Even when Dr. Loomis is talking to Michael Myers as a kid, just the dialogue exchange back and forth is just really, again, very stupid. Thank you, Rob Zombie, for giving us pretty much a very stupid and bland, stupid Halloween Michael Myers movie. And the thing is, of course, as an adult Michael Myers, one thing I will say was kind of creative is that he makes his own mask, and I wish he would have actually made his own Michael Myers mask, because when it comes to the Halloween mask, I like the mask. I think it's really cool and very unique, but I just don't like the way that it was presented in the film, like how it ends up coming into this movie here. I thought, oh, that's really a stupid way of doing it there. I didn't care for Tommy and Lindsay that Laurie actually babysits. I think that they were annoying little shits there. I did like the original a lot better. Michael Myers as a kid, he's just an annoying little shit. You got Linda and Bob. I was not a big fan of either one of them in the original movie, but I like Linda a little bit more, just like Laurie, where she's very spunky, she's very outgoing, where the other ones just felt like they were more subdued, which is fine for that time. But when it came to Bob, I didn't care for either Bob. We don't know much about him except he's the boyfriend to Linda, and they have sex, and that's really all it really is. Going back with Dr. Loomis, the one thing that Donald Pleasance never did in his run as that character that Dr. Loomis does in this is he writes a freaking book about Michael Myers and the life of him and the situation and all that there. And that was really stupid, just to fucking sell a book and make money off of a serial killer like Michael Myers. I thought that was one of the most stupidest things in the world. I think Jason X held it a lot better with the whole, hey, you know how famous you are and I can make you rich and all that. Hey guys, he just wanted his machete back. At least they made a joke about it, where in this one it was just really bad that they ever decide to say, hey, Dr. Loomis, why don't we just do this in the script and all this, and this is what you're going to do. Really? I hated that. And then the final thing I got to talk about is Act 3. Now, I used to think Act 3 was to a point, action-packed. I like the last 5 minutes, still very intense, where Michael Myers is tearing down the old Myers house after he actually finally finds Laurie. Oh, and by the way, I guess kind of want to call it really a spoiler after all these years here. It turns out that Laurie is the sister to Michael Myers, and at the very beginning of the movie, or pretty early in the film, they do show her as like a 2-3-year-old baby. You knew the original story of Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. You walk into this one and you already kind of knew where things were actually going to go with that. But when it came to Act 3, I was a bit disappointed. It didn't feel like it had the impact that it used to. But watching it this last time, I was just like, oh, this is very boring. And Laurie, I get it. You got a 7-foot-tall guy with a knife coming after you wearing a mask. I get it when she's screaming and, very scared and all that, but it's like tone it down just a little bit, please. You're making my ears bleed. And then you also get, in Act 3, you get Dr. Loomis trying to be friends with Michael Myers because they were sort of trying to be friends whenever he was a kid. I never believed it. And it's like, oh, Michael Myers, I don't want to do this to you. Stop chasing your sister and about to kill her and all that. I don't want to do anything to you. And I thought that was really, really just, oh, this is just such a stupid movie. I don't know why I ever actually did like this movie here. Ooh, okay. I'm calm. I promise. I'm calm. Rob Zombie's Halloween, I'm going to go 1 out of 4 stars. Have you seen this movie? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Give me a comment down below. We shall discuss it. Thank you guys so much for watching another movie review. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.